Welcome to Sai Tech Info channel, my dear students. In today's session, I'll be discussing about motion, that is the standard 9 portion. Motion, what do you mean by this? It is a change of position. This can be described in terms of the distance moved by the body or any object or any living being, human being, or the displacement. So, the distance moved or the displacement. Let me look at this diagram where the cyclist is moving from one position to another position. Is it not? So, that is called motion. And as we have discussed motion of a cyclist as an example, we can also study the motion of planets around the sun. Then this is the rotation of a top. This is also motion, and this is the rotatory motion. So based on this, we can have various types of motion like linear motion, circular motion, rotational motion, etc. So the motion of an object could be uniform or it can be non-uniform. It depends on whether it is a velocity constant or changing. When the velocity is constant, then it will be uniform. When the velocity is going on changing, then we can call it a non-uniform motion. So, do you find the difference between the uniform motion and non-uniform motion? Yogesh, what is the significance of uniform motion? In uniform motion, there is a constant velocity, please note down. In non-uniform motion, the velocity keeps on changing. Do you understand? So that makes the difference. Then, let us consider the velocity. As we already discussed, velocity is the displacement divided by time. You can also call it the rate of change of position. Is it not? Because displacement is nothing but change of position. That is because of the motion. Velocity is the ratio between distance or not distance, displacement divided and time. Whereas speed is the ratio between distance and time. Do you understand? So speed is a scalar quantity, whereas velocity is a vector quantity. Scalar means what? It doesn't involve any direction. Vector means it involves magnitude as well as direction. So what is the unit of displacement? It is meter. Unit of time, we can call it second. So what is the unit of velocity? I said displacement divided by time. Can you tell me? Meter per second. Do you understand? Because displacement is in meter, time is in second. So meter per second. You can put m bar s or m that is s power minus 1. Okay, right. What is acceleration? Excuse me. Acceleration, change in velocity per unit time. Okay, so change of velocity that gives in meter per second, time in second, so it is meter per second square. Okay, or ms power minus 2. That is the unit of acceleration. So what do you mean by change of velocity? That is final velocity minus initial velocity. Final velocity is always represented by v. Initial velocity is represented by u. So v minus u divided by t. Therefore, a is equal to v minus u divided by t. Do you understand? Right. And as I already discussed, the unit of acceleration is meter per second squared, or ms power minus 2. Okay, right. Now, these uniform and non-uniform motions of objects can be represented by graphs. Let us see one by one. Now, distance time graph, then velocity time graph. Let us check the distance time graph. Look at this diagram. Here you have got x-axis and y-axis. In x-axis we mention the time in minutes. Y-axis distance in kilometer. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, since it is an uniform motion, it means what? There is no change in velocity. So, the velocity should be constant. Do you understand? And here it is represented as 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes. And similarly in y-axis, 10 meter, here it is given in kilometer. So 10 kilometer, 20 kilometer, 30 kilometer, 40 kilometer. But normally in scientific, SI units, time is indicated in second. It is given here in minute, but we should go by second only. Okay. And then distance in meter. Okay. Right. Now, you can draw this diagram later after watching the video. Okay. So use a pencil, right? And you can use a Pakka graph. Okay, you can make use of the graph and draw all these things. Now x-axis you have to put time in minutes, y-axis distance in kilometer. Now here there is a procedure for representing the kilometer. For instance, I have given which is the correct representation. Option A, km to represent the kilometer, or capital K, small m, or small k dot m dot, or D option, km without gap. Both of them are in small letter. So which is the correct representation of kilometer? Can you tell me? Capital K and small m? No. So capital K represents Kelvin in SI units. That represents the temperature. So it should be represented as small k only. Do you understand? So small k, small m, the correct option is D. Okay. So D is the correct option. Please note down. So when you represent kilometer, you have to mention, you have to indicate as small k, small m without gap. Don't put that is point in between. Okay? Right.
Okay, sir.
Then, now let us look at this graph once again. I have put a T1 and a T2 here. And at the T1, it has got certain position. That is, the S1 is the position. Is it not? And at the T2, that is, it has reached S2 position. So some body is moving, and that is represented here as a graph. So at the T1, the position of the object is S1. At the T2, the position of the object is S2. Now what do you mean by the velocity, the distance, the displacement between S1 and S2? That is S2 minus S1 divided by T2 minus T1, is it not? Okay. Now what is T1 here? T1 is 41 minute, 42 minute T1, is it not? 1 to 42 minute. And what is T2? T2 is around 56 minute, is it not? So what is the time taken, the period? T2 minus T1, what is that? 46 minus 42, how much? No, 56 minute minus 42 minutes. What is time taken? T. 6 minus 2, 4. 5 minus 4, 1. So 14, is it not? Right. And then, so T2 minus T1 is equal to 14 minute. So similarly, S1 and S2. Okay, S1 is 28 kilometer, S2 is 38 kilometer. You please look at the graph. So 28, 38. Okay. So 28 and 38. So S2 is 38, S1 is 28 kilometer. So the distance traveled. So in between 38 and 28 means 10 kilometer. So the speed of the object is S2 minus S1 divided by T2 minus T1. Therefore speed is equal to 10 divided by 14 kilometer per minute. Do you understand? But this is not the desired unit, is it not? So we have to do it by meter per second. So how we can go about? So this 10 kilometer can be converted into meter. So how? Kilo means 1000. So 10 into 1000, 10,000. Is it not? So you can put 10,000 meter because 10 kilometers is equal to 10,000 meter. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. Is it not? Kilo means 1000. Okay. And similarly 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So therefore we have to do 14 minutes here. So 14 into 60 seconds means 840 seconds. Therefore 10,000 divided by 840 seconds. So that gives you 11.9 meter per second. So this is the correct answer, correct representation. Okay. Please note on this.
Okay.
Right?
Done, sir.
Right. Next one. So there are four important equations of motion. V is equal to U plus AT, S is equal to UT plus half AT squared, and S is equal to half T into V plus U. Then V squared is equal to U squared plus 2AS, where V here represents the final velocity, U initial velocity, A acceleration, S displacement, T time taken. Do you understand? Please note down. So these are the complete set of equations of motion. Actually three equations. V is equal to U plus AT, S equal to UT plus half AT squared, V squared is equal to U squared plus 2AS. Sometimes it can also be represented as V squared minus U squared is equal to 2AS. Okay.
Okay.
And this formula is also very important. That is, yes, we have taken actually the half T outside the bracket and put. So this is a rearrangement only. Okay, of the second equation.
Okay.
We have just replaced this A by V minus U divided by T. Do you understand? So based on that we have worked out.
Okay.
But you must remember the basic equation, the first one, second one, the last one. Okay?
Okay.
Right. Now, look at this sum. If an object moves in a circular path with uniform speed, then it's called uniform circular motion. Do you understand? What is that? So far you have been discussing about the linear motion, but you should also know about the circular motion. So what is circular motion? When an object in a circular path with uniform speed, then it's called uniform circular motion. Do you understand?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Now, let us look at a few problems here. Look at this diagram. So it is given 0 to 25, then B 35, then A. So A at 60 kilometer and B at 35 kilometer, C at 25 kilometer. Now, what is the distance between A and C? Can you tell me?
35, sir.
Between A and C. What is the distance between C and B?
10, sir. 10.
10. Okay, right. But this is the forward direction. Suppose if I ask you what is the displacement between A and C, now it has reversed, is it not? The direction is, the displacement is going in the right direction. Is it not? So it goes back. So you have to say that is initial position is here 60. Final position is C. Now how to find out the difference? Final position minus initial position. So in that case 25 minus 60. Is it not? Therefore minus 35 is the displacement. Do you understand? When I ask you distance, you can say simply 35. But if it is displacement, then you have to mention as minus 35. Do you understand this? And that is why it is said that is displacement is a vector quantity, whereas distance is a scalar quantity. In scalar, direction is not considered, whereas in vector, direction should be considered. When the direction, when it goes in the reverse direction, you have to put negative sign or opposite sign. Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Right. Then, the average speed, generally it is given as total distance traveled divided by total time taken. But average velocity is initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. You understand? So that makes the difference. Please note down. Now,
Okay.
note it down. Now, what is the type of motion? This is a rectangular track. Okay, so probably that is A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A. Now the path is completed, is it not? So the net displacement is 0 because you have started from A and come back to the original position A via traveling via B, C, D and you reach at A. It means it is you have come back, so the net displacement is 0. But what is the total distance traveled? That is different. Do you understand? For instance, AB, say about a 5 kilometer. This is BC, 10 kilometer, again 5 kilometer, then 10 kilometer. Means 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 10, 20, 30 kilometers you have traveled. So 5 plus 5, 10. 30. So 30 kilometers you have traveled. But the distance traveled is this one. Displacement is 0. Do you understand the meaning of the difference between distance and displacement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is also, in this case also, the net displacement will be 0. It is an hexagonal track. And this is octagonal track. But the final displacement is 0 because it has reached the original position. And this is the circular motion. Do you understand? So you start somewhere and reaches at the same position. So it is circular motion. So this circular track, you can feel, for instance, that is when you tie a stone in a thread or that is any rope and start swirling it, and when you adopt a circular motion, you can feel a tension, is it not, between your hand and the stone. So through the thread there will be some force. So a force is, you can experience a force of escaping of this stone from the circular motion. At the same time, there will be an opposite force that is coming inside towards the center of the circle. So these two are called centripetal force and centrifugal force, and they are equal and opposite in fact. Okay. Then
Okay.
now let us consider the sum. A girl walks along a straight path to drop a letter in the letter box and comes back to her initial position. Her displacement time graph is shown here. Plot the velocity time graph for the same. How you can go about? For instance, you have here that is starting from 0, is it not? Origin. And walks along a straight path drop a letter box and come back to initial position. So she goes here, okay, and come back to the initial position. Okay, so her displacement graph is given. So it means initially, okay, initially there is no velocity, 0. And finally, that is, you can interpret here, because the displacement here is in 50 seconds. In 50 seconds, she has reached 100. Are you able to understand? In 50 seconds, she is able to reach 100 meter. So that is the final velocity. So final velocity is the displacement divided by time. It means 100 divided by 50 means 2 meter per second. That is the final velocity. Are you able to follow? And then after velocity after 100 second, so displacement divided by time once again, and here you have reached once again the 0 position, is it not? So we are, because you have come back, so 0 divided by 100, so here it is 0 by 100 means 0. It means you put velocity time initially 0 to 0 and time 0 50 0. Now you can put the same thing and you can find, you can replace here by velocity. It is given as time. So you can put 1 2. Now you are able to see, that is when v is equal to 0, t is also 0. When t is equal to 0, v is also 0. Is it not? When v is equal to 2, and then what is that? When time is equal to 50 and the velocity is 2 meter per second. When it is reaching 100, the velocity is once again 0, because it indicates that you have come back. Are you able to follow this? Okay? Right. Let us look at this sum. A motorist drives from A to B with uniform speed. Let me consider. So he is driving from position A to B, okay, with the speed. So this is the onward traveling with the speed of, what is that, 30 kilometer per hour, right? Then returns with the speed of 20 kilometer per hour, right? Now what is asked? Average speed is asked. Average speed is asked. What is the equation? Average speed is equal to total distance traveled. Is it not? Total distance traveled divided by total time. At the same time, we already know that is speed in this case is distance traveled divided by time. Now let me check A to B, and that speed is, let me say S1 is equal to, what is that, 30 kilometer, is it not? So 30 kilometer per hour. It means what? 30 kilometer per hour means, that is S1 in this case 30, is it not, kilometer per hour. So based on that we can get, we will assume, we do not know what is actually x, I mean the distance, okay. So let us put x is the distance, let us call x as the distance, and speed is given here, is it not? So we can rearrange this, okay. So x, I mean distance, is equal to, what is that, otherwise time taken. Now we will calculate the time taken, that will be easier, okay. So time taken, time is equal to what? Distance divided by speed, okay. So we can make use of this. What is the onward time? Onward time taken. Okay, A to B, the time taken. Let me say T1. For A to B, the time taken is T1. Is it not? So
Yes,
that
sir.
is put X for distance. Okay. So this
Yes,
is the distance between them is X. And the return distance is also remaining same, is it not? X. So X, okay. And T1 is equal to X divided by 30. And what about T2? T2 is equal to again X divided by, this is B to A. How much? 20. 20 kilometer per hour. Okay? Right. Now
okay.
what is the total time taken? T1 plus T2, which is nothing but X by 30 plus X by 20. Do you understand? So that is the
Yes, sir.
total time taken.
Taken.
Right? Please go
Yes,
through.
sir.
Please write.